we're setting up for a jump run. And you can hear my bike going, ouchie, ouchie. Oh, I gotta get my glass. Okay.
I told you, I'm a novice rider, as you can tell.
No, you're doing fine, man.
Yeah.
One thing, I found that the more I stand up, the better I got.
I mean, to a certain extent, I try to do it. Well, I was standing up a little bit more until I fell, by the way.
Oh, were you? Oh, yeah, like I said, you were doing great. You were flying, man.
Yeah. Really steep when it goes down, we'll do that.
Okay. Okay. Well, back to Candy. Okay, Candy and I mean, Dave was Dave liked Candy. Anyway, we're out doing our things, and we're at Matt's house. It's about 10 o'clock at night, and school started like in the next week or two, right? So we're going, and we're just trying to stay out. We didn't. My curfew was like 11 or 12 or something, and so we're always out. Woohoo! There's some big drops. Woohoo! Yeah! Is that the one he was talking about? He's talking about taking the drops, but is that the one you were talking about?
That one drops off a lot more, yeah. Do I get a picture of that just going down it?
Sure.
Okay. Let's get up in here.
Alright, so back at the Las Vegas house of Matthew. We're at Matt's house, the phone rings, and Candy's on the phone, and Dave's like, hey, Candy, how are you? I'm sorry, Matt answers the phone, and he's like, hey, Candy, how are you? And so Dave perks up, right? He's like, ooh, it's Candy. And she asks, is Ride a Map there? And so Matt's like, you want Ride a Map? Yeah, is he there? I called his house. Actually, let me do this. Actually, yeah. I called his house and talked to his mom. And she said that he was at your house and she gave me your number. So, Matt's like, okay, here's Ride a Map. And so I end up talking to her. She's like, hey, Ride a Map, why don't you come over to my house? My sister and I are up on the roof. And she's got her friend over. And I invited you. And I want you to come over and watch this meteor shower. And I'm thinking, heck yeah. And of course, Dave's like, what's going on? What's going on? Why is she talking to you? And so I hang up, and I'm like, hey, she wants me to go over to her house, dude. And woohoo! And so I head over, I call, again, it's close to my curfew, and Dave is like, whatever. He's kind of mad. But he got over it. And then, so I call my parents. Hey, Mom! Candy wants me to come over to her house. Oh, yeah, she called and talked to me. I guess Candy and my mom have the same voice. But anyway, yeah, she called. I said, well, I want to go. I've still got time on my curfew. Well, I don't think you should. I said, well, I still got time on my curfew. And she goes, I'm not gonna tell you no, but I just think you should come home. You don't need to be going out there. And I said, well, will I get in trouble? She goes, I'm gonna leave it up to you. You decide. and I was in my family's van. Big, huge conversion van, right? And so I'm like, whee! No, not in the van. Wee-hoo! Good wheelie. Woohoo again! Yeah! Good trail. Oh, lizard! There was a lizard! Oh, here comes a good one. Wee-hoo! Alright, so I'm in my family's conversion van, and it didn't have insurance on it. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to go to Candy's house. My mom said no. Or she left it up to my decision. And I'm going to go. So I went. And I'm driving the family's van, and I get to Candy's house. And she's up on the roof with her friend and her sister. And the sister's friend was a male friend. And so they're on one side of the roof. And Candy's like, here, the ladder's over here, come on up. And so I went over, climbed up the ladder, and we watched the meteor shower. And it was great. You know, and don't get too excited. I just met her. And so it's not like we were making out or anything. I mean, I didn't just meet her, but, you know, we weren't to that point in a relationship. And so, here he comes, Mr. MotoStorm. I'm going to follow him, get him on video. All right. And so, we go and we watch the, woohoo! Yeah, that was a jump. You see that? We ended up watching the meteors, and everything was cool. The friend went, the twins' boyfriend, or friend that was a boy, went home. And Candy and I are having a great time. We're just talking and getting to know each other. And when it's time for me to leave, it's like midnight, right? Or around curfew or whatever it was. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to head on home now. And so I parked the big, huge conversion van across the street. And we're sitting there, and we're standing there, and we're talking, and all of a sudden, this car full of people from Mexico. At least, we're not going to stereotype. That was a good wheelie. But, you know, people from Mexico pull up in this little Dodge Colt. And if you ever seen a little Dodge Colt, it was crammed full of people. And I'm like, oh, there's a lot of people in that Dodge Colt. And I had this big, huge conversion van, right? So they pull up and they stop and they go, hey, whose van's this? And I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to say, I don't know whose van that is. But Candy looks at him and goes, oh, that's his. And I'm like thinking, great, thanks, Candy. Don't you know we're living in Las Vegas, girl? So, woohoo! So we end up, and they go, well, give us that van. And I said, no. And they said, give us that van. And I said, no. And I stepped in front of Candy. Right? So I'm in front of Candy. And they said, give us that van or we're going to shoot you. And I need to do a Mexican accent, but I'm not very good at that. And that would be stereotypical, so I'm not going to do that. Anyway. They said, and I said, no. And they pulled out a gun. And it was, to me, it looked like a silver barreled 9mm. That's all I could see. And they're holding this gun on my face. And we're driving slow now for dramatic effect. And I'm thinking to myself, there's a gun at me, and there's a girl behind me, and she's like holding on to the back of my shirt, right? And she's tucked her head inside her fists behind my shirt. Let's see how talented I am. Like this. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, here we go. Ooh, we're gonna pause. No, you got to do this one. We already got. That's true, but give me your camera. You got me on that last one. This is a good hill. It is. No, it doesn't look like it when you're on that camera. So we're gonna pause.